Up, Bloody Nerdigans. This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans Inc. and anime and manga contributor to Bounding into Comics. And, well, that explains a lot. But before I get into this insane story, we are at war with YouTube's algorithm, and it is slowly but surely killing my channel. And in order to defeat this algorithmic beast, we need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored. If you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my naughty kitty over there, and this operation literally alive and kicking, so we could keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be for live reactions or news and analysis like this video, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below, as well as the link to our Patreon, where we are doing our anime live reaction content, because unlike YouTube, where we constantly have to worry about getting a copyright strike for showing anything on the screen, well, Patreon, we don't have to worry about that. So we can have our full setup of the anime and manga side by side and have the audio to boot, which is not only great for busting a botch localization or two, but it's great for when we cover anime original content like, say, Dragon Ball Daima, or for Bleach 1000-Year Blood War, which we do have the 1st and 5th episodes available for free on Patreon. And the more views and subscribers we get on Patreon, the more anime we'll cover. And hell, if you're a $10 patron, you get to choose the series we cover as well. And there's a Stackfall anime season coming to a close and more on the way. So please check out our Patreon. The link is in the description box below. So amidst all the chaos that was Jump Festa last night, I came across this article from Bloomberg where former and current Crunchyroll employees revealed some of the fuckery that has been going on. Well, it was happening during as well as post Funimation merger. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, that totally explains what we've been witnessing and slash covering in terms of Crunchyroll's deterioration. So the moment I saw this, I was like, yeah, I need to cover this. I totally do. I mean, we've been covering Crunchyroll's fuckery for several years now. So, but anyways, I can't wait to get into this article and see what kind of fuckery was exposed. So let's get to it. So where we're starting off first is when the merger was announced. So here we go. Tension between the camps arose almost immediately, and a Zoom meeting announcing the decision. Funimation workers accused Crunchyroll of being pirates, alluding to the site's history, according to two people who were present. Crunchyroll Chief Executive Officer Colin Decker and General Manager Joanne Wage, or Waj, whatever, left in the ensuing months. I decided the time was right for me to focus on my family and pursue my own company, which is in a very different industry, Decker told Bloomberg. Okay, so if I was Decker or Waj, whatever, what I would have said to the Funimation people that were giving them shit for being pirates, it's like, yeah, and anime would not be popular if it wasn't for piracy. Same goes for manga. Funimation, your asses would not exist if it wasn't for piracy. So I would sit your ass down and shut up. Just saying. Anime was very niche. It was very niche. But piracy was the one that brought it into the mainstream. So yeah, Funimation, shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut up. But anyways, now let's get into this next part here. Current or former employees describe Crunchyroll's new management, primarily from Funimation, course, as out of touch with employees and the anime fans the company once prioritized. Some executives write off anime as kids' cartoons, they said, and resist hiring job candidates who describe themselves as fans. Customers weren't too happy either. Some were furious when Crunchyroll announced that digital copies of anime they had purchased through Funimation wouldn't survive the transition to the new platform. Okay, this really explains a lot. It does. And let me explain why here. I went to Crunchyroll Expo in 2018, 2019 in person, 2020, 2021, and I believe 2022 as well, virtually. And 2018 was when Crunchyroll Expo was starting to get, start to get momentum. And 2019 was when it really hit its peak. And 2020 was it's COVID, so they were dealing with what they could. I went to a Crunchyroll focus group in 2019, and you could tell when you were at the focus group, you could tell that they really cared about fan feedback. They really did. And I said about Crunchyroll Expo, I said, look, at 2018, at Crunchyroll Expo 2018, I didn't feel like I belonged because it was mostly anime that was there. And Crunchyroll is about anime and manga fans. And as a manga fan, I didn't feel like I belonged. And guess what? Crunchyroll 2019, Crunchyroll Expo 2019, I got to meet the Shokugeki no Soma mangaka, and there was more manga panels. They had, I believe that year they had like a Kodansha panel, and I felt like I was amongst my brethren. I felt like I belonged. It was awesome. I loved it so much. 2020, the at the end of the 2020 Crunchyroll Expo, they were taking fan feedback and they were listening, and they did some really cool stuff with the cosplay contest, because we were doing virtual that year. Crunchyroll was doing virtual that year. They were able to, include cosplayers from around the world, which was really cool. And people loved it. And they did it again in 2021. And people got to submit videos and do really cool stuff with it. So you could tell that, Crunchyroll was listening to the fans. But then after that, that's when shit got really weird, and they stopped listening to fans, and it really regressed and deteriorated until then, they were like, yeah, screw Crunchyroll Expo. We're not going to do it anymore. And what that did was basically screwed over people like me who are in Northern California that don't really have a convention to go to. Yeah, I know there's, SAC anime, and there's also, there's Fanime, but it's not the same as Crunchyroll Expo, where you had like big names. You had big studio, you had big industry panels there. You had mangaka there. It's not the same as Crunchyroll Expo. Like the closest thing to Crunchyroll Expo was down in Southern California, which is an 8-hour drive, and it's frustrating. So yeah, it's understandable. The other example of this indication where it does explain a lot is with the Anime Awards. And the Anime Awards, in my opinion, is how it's like the best indication of how in touch Crunchyroll is with its customer base. And if you've noticed over the past few years in particular, aka since the merger happened, they are extremely out of fucking touch. They are really out of touch with their customer base. They've gotten rid of, instead of listening to feedback and, saying, okay, you know what, maybe we should not have Aaron as, or like one character like Aaron as best protagonist and best antagonist. No, let's just get rid of the categories and just have it under one. Like, what? What? Let's have less categories. Let's have less people, or less characters to choose from. Let's get rid of best boy and best girl and just put like a character that needs to be protected. What? That's not what people wanted. Like that's what I mean by them being out of touch. So when I see this here, it's like, yeah, it's understandable. I could totally see what the Crunchyroll employees mean by this. It makes so much sense to me. Then I see this here, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna read this, and then you'll understand what I mean when I put here Parini's interview with The Verge, which we covered on Twitter and on YouTube, is proof of this. Since the acquisition, the company has undergone at least 3 rounds of layoffs. Current employees said Crunchyroll's strategy is unclear, resulting in a climate of uncertainty and confusion. That's what this is for Parini's business strategy. It's so weird. Like, they aren't doing any fucking marketing for shit. Parini is not prioritizing any theatrical releases. Like, they're not doing shit for that either. They're doing like 1 or 2 day theatrical runs, and that's it, and no marketing. They're not doing any like promotions with like, remember with Pokemon the first movie, there was like Happy Meal toys and shit like that. They're not doing that. They're not doing popcorn buckets. They're not trying to in the case of like My Hero Academia, they didn't try to do shit with Marvel. Well, actually, I got to blame Toho in this case because Toho has the rights for that now. But you know what I mean? They're not even hell even before then. When they didn't do shit with that. They didn't do shit with Dragon Ball. And part of that is Toei's fault too. They didn't do shit with Dragon Ball. It's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Same with Jujutsu Kaisen. I know normies or mainstreamers that didn't even know that Jujutsu Kaisen Zero was in theaters. They had no clue. And that's because of shitty marketing. It's like, what the hell are you doing? And that's because Perini straight up said, we don't give a shit about theatrical releases. We're just going to be focusing on streaming. Well, theatrical releases are going to bring people to your streaming service, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. And it's not just a 1 day or 2 day showing. No, it's only one screening per day. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Oh my God. But anyways, just 39% of its workers surveyed recently said management has communicated a strategy that motivates them, according to internal poll data seen by Bloomberg. That does not surprise me. This does not surprise me at all. Based on the business strategy that I covered on Twitter and even my YouTube channel. I'll post a link to that in the description box. That does not surprise me at all. I'm not surprised. Let's see. That was down from 51% in a previous poll. Another reorganization is planned for early 2025, according to two people who heard it is coming. What, dude? I said it before and I'll say it again. Perini is running Crunchyroll into the ground. And for those of you that don't know who Perini is, this motherfucker is the one that ran Funimation into the ground. Sony, you fuckers are stupid. You shouldn't have put the man who ran Funimation into the ground in charge of Crunchyroll unless you were planning to run Crunchyroll into the ground. That was stupid. That was a stupid thing to do. In response, Crunchyroll said its staff has grown by 27%, but wouldn't clarify since when or whether Funimation staff were counted toward that increase. That's probably what it was. Funimation staff is probably counted toward that increase. How much you want to bet? The company said it has over 100 open positions at offices around the world. I remember reading that. I do. I remember Perini mentioning that in I think it was it his Verge interview? Yeah, I think it was in his Verge interview. And okay, this plan here is doomed to fail. I remember Perini saying something. I don't think he mentioned this 25 by 25 plan, but I remember him saying that he was going to have Crunchyroll depend on Netflix to be like a gateway to Crunchyroll. I'm just like, are you serious, bro? That is stupid. All right, so here we go. Crunchyroll's internal growth plan includes an initiative called 25 by 25, meaning 25 million subscribers by the end of 2025. Motherfucker, you barely had like 8 million paid subscribers. Like a year or this year or something like that? Like you had Crunchyroll had like hundreds of thousands of or no, not hundreds of thousands, I'm sorry, like at least 100 or 200 million free subscribers, but they paid subscribers, no man, there was like barely any. And also based on what we've seen, there's no reason to be a paid Crunchyroll subscriber. There really isn't, especially when piracy is there. Piracy, the pirate websites are better designed. You don't have to deal with a shitty video player. It's just, you might as well just pirate. Or like if since more anime is coming to Netflix and Hulu and Max, or in the case of Global, Disney Plus, and now Amazon Prime as well, like what the fuck is the point? You don't need Crunchyroll anymore. But anyways, the goal to come, let's see. The goal the company has said in internal documents is to give it a large enough base of subscribers to compete for new shows with more mainstream streaming services such as Netflix, Warner Brothers Discovery, and Warner Brothers Discovery Inc.'s Max. The company isn't likely to meet that target, according to insiders who spoke with Bloomberg. Well, no shit. The goal wasn't based on rigorous analysis of the markets, but instead designed to project a big, catchy number. No shit! I could have told you that, they said. The projections call for tripling subscribers in India and Southeast Asia. Why would Southeast Asia get Crunchyroll when there's Muse Asia, which is free? When there's Bilibili, which is free? When there's Netflix Asia and what's the other one I was thinking of? And Amazon Prime Asia, where not only is it free, or well, that's not free. Not only that, not only do you have Netflix Asia and Amazon Prime Asia, Bilibili, and Muse Asia. Not only that, but guess what? Their localizations are actually accurate. There's no woke localizations happening over there. Why the fuck? And also Disney Plus as well. So why the fuck would Southeast Asia take your crappy service when there's better services over there that they could have? Again, with Muse Asia, it's free. But why would they do that when there's better services over there that work and have accurate translations? You are fucking stupid for believing that's going to happen. Let's see. Yet in the second half of fiscal 2024, only one of 6 major regional markets that Crunchyroll set targets for was on pace to meet its goal, according to data reviewed by Bloomberg. That market was Latin America. That don't surprise me. Crunchyroll is expanding into new markets, including India, to draw in potential long-term subscribers. The service is available there for about $1 a month, a price that's likely too low to be profitable. Well, no shit, according to 5 current and former employees. Now, do I want to go to this one? No, let me go to this one first. I do want to get to this one next, and then I'm going to get into the other fuckery that's the really deep fuckery. Now, concerning, as I said, there's like Muse Asia and the other Muse Asia, Netflix, and all that, and Bilibili. So why the fuck would they get Crunchyroll? Well, guess what? Current and former employees are concerned that mainstream streamers are closing in on Crunchyroll's territory. And this is a bad thing? The Western distribution market, like people are saying, oh, Sony has no, there hasn't been a monopoly on anime for a long time. You mofos think there has in the Western distribution market, but there hasn't. There has never been a monopoly. There never has, because there's been anime on Hulu. There's been anime on Amazon Prime. There's been anime on Netflix. And there's well, now there's anime, Max is getting more anime as well. There's never been there's just, I don't know why people are saying that. Like, you guys are dumb if you think that there's that Crunchyroll has had like a monopoly on Western distribution. It has never been the case. Like, you can make the argument that Sony has a monopoly on home video distribution, Western distribution. Yeah, you can make that argument, but on streaming, no, it has not had distribution. It has monopoly on distribution, Western streaming distribution. No, it has never had a monopoly on that. But anyways, shortly after the Sony acquisition, Netflix announced JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Netflix licensed JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Suddenly, one of Crunchyroll's most popular series was available on the world's largest streaming service, and its next season was exclusively on Netflix. Dude, Netflix has had like exclusive anime for a long time. Like, Bloomberg, you're fucking stupid for that. With their greater reach and higher licensing budgets, Netflix and Disney are vacuuming up hit anime programs like Delicious in Dungeon and Little Witch Academia. Little Witch Academia was on Netflix before this merger. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. From key Crunchyroll suppliers, Disney purchased the exclusive rights to the second season of Tokyo Revengers Tenjiku Arc, another popular show last year. Yeah, guess what? Disney purchased the rights to Kodansha anime adaptations because they have a deal. They've had a contract with Kodansha. I didn't know this too until I researched this. They've had a partnership with Kodansha since like the 50s. So yeah, it was bound to happen. According to a survey of over 4,000 Americans earlier this year by the online gaming and entertainment site Polygon, 76% of Gen Z anime fans watch shows on Netflix compared with 58% on Crunchyroll. Yeah, Perini, your strategy is fucking backfiring. You think that, and Perini said that he wants Netflix to be a gateway to Crunchyroll, and he's citing Gen Z for that reason. But there's another reason why Crunchyroll is, and he knows Crunchyroll's servers are shit. He does. He's not doing shit about it. It's also because Netflix actually works. Fucking idiot. But this, oh God, I think I'm going to do this, and then I'll do the biggest what the fuck of them all, because as soon as I saw this, I did the biggest I told you so. Because I've been saying this for a long time. I said that Crunchyroll does, especially Perini, when Perini came into power. I said that Crunchyroll does not give a fuck about manga readers. They do not. I made them give a fuck about manga readers. I did when I went to Crunchyroll, when I went to the Crunchyroll focus group. I said, I was like, dude, I felt like I didn't belong at Crunchyroll Expo 2018. I'm going to feel like I belong there. And also Crunchyroll at the time, Crunchyroll manga was part of the Kodansha Simulpub program. And notice when the merger happened with Funimation, the Crunchyroll manga Simulpub Crunchyroll manga not only is lost Kodansha's Simulpub program, but it's gone completely. I'm glad Kodansha wised the fuck up. I'm so happy that Kodansha wised the fuck up. I knew that. I called that shit. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen too. You can watch my video when Perini came into power. I said that they were going to leave. But anyways, let's read this here. Japanese manga publishers such as Shogakukan Inc., Shueisha Inc., and Kodansha Limited are also unhappy with how Crunchyroll manages merchandise rights. The company often makes and sells merchandise or collectibles such as figures or posters in ways that the publishers don't approve, according to both Crunchyroll employees and staffers in the Japanese publishing industry. Crunchyroll didn't respond to a request for comment on that issue. Reports from Crunchyroll detailing sales for revenue sharing purposes aren't considered trustworthy. No shit, I ain't surprised. 3 Japanese anime industry employees said. The U.S. Look at that. Reports from Crunchyroll detailing sales for revenue sharing purposes aren't considered trustworthy. 3 Japanese anime industry employees said. The U.S. company's attitude made some heavyweight manga authors upset as their characters were used in ways that they didn't want, the people said. I am not, you know what? This is probably what led to Kodansha leaving. This is why Kodansha left. This is why Kodansha cut off the Simulpub program. This is probably why they cut it off. I am not surprised. And we got K-Manga because of it. I'm not, and you know what? I wish K-Manga was a little bit different, and I just would like to have like free Simulpubs for like the first or for like the most recent chapter. Just give me that, Kodansha, and I'd be happy with that. But yeah, this does not surprise me at all. Nope. Like this right here, what this tells me is, this probably led to Crunchyroll losing the Kodansha Simulpub program. You fuckers are stupid. And then this right here, I'm going to get to this part next. I mean, I said this here. I mean, it shouldn't be surprising considering how Crunchyroll has fucked up their video game licenses, as well as I said, as lost Kodansha's manga Simulpub program, effectively killing Crunchyroll manga. Crunchyroll, let's read this here. Crunchyroll management figured they could hook Crunchyroll subscribers on mobile games based on their favorite anime shows, like One Punch Man, according to 3 people familiar with the strategy. But that initiative has struggled. Over the past 2 years, 3 games have shut down, including one based on Princess Connect Redive, while the company has launched 4 others. Last month, all the games except one brought in the sales of less than $5,000 each on the iOS or Android platforms, according to data from Sensor Tower. I wonder why. Maybe it's because you need to market your shit better. Although Crunchyroll invested a large sum developing its One Punch Man World game, The U.S. license for the show is snagged by Hulu. Yeah, you lost your shit to Hulu, fucker. The game hasn't received an update in months, spurring fans to complain online. The company has added more than 30 titles to its Game Vault offering, which is included in some Crunchyroll subscriptions. Executives also hoped merchandising would help retain subscribers and boost revenue. Current and former employees said viewers could binge on manga comic books between anime seasons instead of pausing their monthly fee or purchase collectible figures of their favorite anime characters. After taking over the anime merchandise retailer Right Stuff for an undisclosed sum in 2022, Crunchyroll's online store was poised to offer manga, DVDs, and toys. Well, yeah, until they were like, well, fuck selling adult stuff. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. And someone pointed out that, yeah, you kind of pulled a tumbler by doing that. Yeah, that's a problem. Crunchyroll, you doing that was shit. Your customer service is shit. Yeah, that's shitty. That was a stupid thing to do. And guess what? In terms of, you know what? I'm going to say this in terms of figures. Guess what? You can get figures, and I've said this in other videos as well. Something I've been seeing in toy hunting videos is that you could go to Ross, Marshalls, and TJ Maxx, and even DD's Discount, and you could get Bam Presto statues for under $20. Why would you go to Crunchyroll and buy shit there when you could just go to the discount stores and get them for dirt cheap? There's no reason to go there and buy any figures from there. In terms of plushies, I like my plushies. The majority of my plushies, and this is why I'm pissed off about Crunchyroll Expo being gone. I got a good chunk of my plushies I got for cheap at Crunchyroll Expo on the floor there. I got and the other plushies I have, I imported my Japanese ones anyway. I imported via eBay for cheap. I think the most expensive one I have, I think the most was it $80 I spent? I think the most I've spent on a plushie is like 70 or $80. I've barely spent, and I've never spent over $100 on any of my merch. Never. But yeah, it's so stupid. Crunchyroll, you guys are fucking retarded. But then, and this is why I'm really annoyed that we don't have Crunchyroll Expo anymore, because that was where Crunchyroll Expo was when I got to go get my merch on the cheap. But now that I know I could get figures on the cheap at like discount stores when I have money again and a car, I will do toy hunting videos. But anyways, now let's get to the final part of this article here, which as soon as I saw this, I was like blown away. But at the same time, it doesn't surprise. I shouldn't be surprised by this, but Jesus Christ, I'm blown away by this. All right. So one concern among Crunchyroll employees and licensors is the marketing of. Oh God! Remember I mentioned the marketing, right? Well, this explains why the marketing is shit. Is the marketing overseen by Marcus Gerdeman, a senior vice president? And I'm glad the licensors are noticing this shit too. I'm glad, because remember, the one thing that I was pissed off at, and I've been mentioning throughout this, and I've been saying for months, maybe even at least a year, maybe 2 years now, is the one thing that bothered me was the marketing. And this motherfucker is the one that's behind this. So Marcus Gerdman, as the senior vice president, is behind this shit. So here we go. He was hired by Funimation after marketing several popular Netflix shows like Unorthodox, but had little experience with anime. Of course! Gurman brought in a cadre of former advertising agency colleagues whom Crunchyroll employees came to refer to as the Boys Club. Of course. Nepotism. That definitely explains a lot. 7 current and former employees said Gurman isn't experienced enough for the role, overseeing changes in strategy that cost the company money. Well, no shit. You want to know what now? This explains why we ain't getting shit with theatrical releases. Explains why we ain't seeing shit in terms of like commercials. this explains why we ain't seeing like shit promotions in like say fast food restaurants like we did with Pokemon, for example. Like we aren't seeing anything, and it's this fucker's fault. Now look at this. Now it gets even better. In the past year, he angered both Toei and Toho, according to current and former employees. In July, for example, Toei representatives were were underwhelmed at a Crunchyroll concert for the anime hit One Piece held on the San Diego Bay during Comic Con. The signature ship from the program sailed by, but wasn't lit up, so many of those in attendance couldn't see it. Gurman oversaw that event. Then in October, Gurman, this is where I was like, what the fuck? Gurman sent an email to staff seen by Bloomberg asking them not to promote the important Toho title Dandadan. What? Due to ongoing acquisition discussions, we decided not to further lean into the promotion of Dandadan, the email read. The show was also streaming on Netflix, where it debuted as the second most viewed non-English show. So he was helping his old employer. Sony, take the tax write-off. Take the fucking tax write-off. At this point, you just shut it down and take the tax write-off. These fuckers are costing you money. And you know what? I'm going to send this to my Aniplex insider because I'm going to tell you right now, they have no idea what's happening here. They don't. Sony in Japan has no idea that this is happening. I could tell you right now, they have no idea that this fuckery is happening. Based on the conversations that I've had with my Aniplex insider, and Aniplex is a subsidiary of Sony. That's the anime subsidiary of Sony. They have no idea that any of this shit is happening. None. They have no idea that this is happening at all. So yeah, you bet your damn ass I'm sending this to my Aniplex insider. They're going to be in deep shit. Now, this is where I'm like kind of iffy on this. At least two people who work for Gurman filed complaints to Human Resources about his management. One of them alleging sexist behavior, and the other accusing him of creating a hostile work environment. Like the former, I'm kind of iffy on, but the latter about a hostile work environment, I could believe that. The former, I'm not sure because of all the fuckery that's happened in terms of like Me Too and all that, and like the false accusations for sexism and all that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I could believe that. But the hostile work environment, I could definitely believe. Sony investigated the allegations of sexism, and Gerdman was cleared. See, that's why I was like, yeah, I kind of, as much as I know people don't like Sony, but like I kind of got to side with Sony on this one. Based on remember the type of people we're dealing with at Crunchyroll. They approve, because I know someone was bringing up, well, they approved High Guardian Spice. Exactly. That's why I'm like, the sexism allegation, I don't believe. But the hostile work environment one, I could probably believe. 7 people speaking with Bloomberg said Gerdman has negatively impacted employee morale. That I could believe. He didn't respond to requests for comment. Sony didn't comment on the allegations. Now, overall with this definitely explains what is going on at Crunchyroll to me. This explains the deterioration that's happening at Crunchyroll, especially in terms of the marketing. Oh my God, this really does. This explains how shit is just like how or why I should say you're seeing a lot of mistreatment towards fans, and why like you see like all the chaos and the confusion that's going on with the business decisions that's happening over there. It makes so much sense. Crunchyroll is, I said said in my video when I covered Parini's interview, I think I titled it "Crunchyroll is doomed." I was right then, and I'm right now, and I'm still right. Crunchyroll is fucked. They are so fucked. This motherfucker needs to get fired for what he did. How the fuck does he still have a job after doing this shit? I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised about this. Let me make sure I am not missing anything, especially about the licensor stuff. The other thing with the licensors I do want to mention is what the article did mention is that the production, and this is true, is that the production costs are going up, and because the production costs are going up, the fees to license these a lot of the anime is going to go up too. And guess who's going to lose rights to these series? It's Crunchyroll. They're not, unless Sony gives it to them on the cheap. They're not going to have it. But I'm really curious what you guys think of this situation. This situation is bonkers. This is bonkers, man. I'm just trying to think, what could you guys do at this point? What could we do as fans? Well, as I said, I know what I'm doing. I'm notifying my I'm going to do my shit behind the scenes because I can. I have because my Aniplex insider is someone that is a director, a longtime director. So and well, they told me if I see anything that's very sus happening at Crunchyroll to let them know, and that's what I plan on doing. Because you see, unlike most people, I don't just sit back and just bitch. No, I take action. And yeah, unfortunately, I get instead of I I just get shadow banned. I'm still being punished by being shadow banned, and then people take credit for all the work I do instead, and that really fucking sucks. And then people just spread misinformation, but then that's a whole different thing. Um, but I'm very curious what you guys think of the situation. As I said, overall, I am not surprised by any of this. The biggest indicators, as I said, was if you want more proof of the deterioration of Crunchyroll, is is go look at what happened with Crunchyroll Expo, and go look at what's been happening with the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, especially the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, because that is the biggest indicator on how out of touch Crunchyroll is with its customer base. Another indicator of this is what happened with the free simulcasts. Remember, Crunchyroll had free simulcasts for a very long time, and then when Funimation came in, they said nope, no more free simulcasts for you. It's like, what? You guys are fucking retarded for that. But this is going to be very interesting to see what happens from here. It is. But I know Crunchyroll's going to try and downplay this article and say that this is bullshit. No, I could believe that all this is happening. I definitely could believe all this. From as I said, this is from someone who has seen this deterioration firsthand, from not just firsthand with Crunchyroll Expo and the Anime Awards, but like and also it's from covering a lot of the shenanigans. It's from seeing Crunchyroll manga go under. It's from all the video games Crunchyroll has just destroyed. Look at what's happened with Right Stuff. Like, I mean, and getting rid of the adult content. I mean, it's obvious with what's happening. And there's one person at the center of it, and that is Parini. Remember, Parini is the one that destroyed Funimation. He came in, I think it was like 2017, and starting then, Parini, because Funimation was pretty much doing okay before 2017, and in 2017 he ran that shit to the ground. He's running Crunchyroll to the ground too. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below what you guys think. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing. I want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content. If you wish, you can do that. Donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off our Amazon wish list. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.